Roger, Catherine, Megan, Shannon. Heart goes out to you guys, as you know. D-Man, Cannibal Pygmy Boy, and Derrik the Red. These are all names affectionately used for our friend, our son, our brother, Derrik Flayhive. I've been fortunate to know Derrik since he was just a little guy, and I've enjoyed watching him grow up into to an exceptional young man. Just as Pops mentioned, just an incredible, incredible man. Lucky for me, I was able to spend time with Derrik and his dad, mountain biking, road biking, climbing, hiking, camping, just a lot of different things. And especially one of our favorites was elk hunting with Derrik, and he loved it so much. And Gary, Uncle Gary, was part of that. The best part of these activities was seeing the excitement in Derrik's eyes and sharing his enthusiasm just for any adventure that he would undertake. He embraced anything that would come his way, and just was exuberant with all his activities that he wanted to do, and pretty much he wanted to do everything. There are many incredible funny stories that Roger, Uncle Gary, and Derrik and I shared, and there's way too many of them to tell, but there's one that kind of jumps out at me when he was, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old, and I think it was his first elk hunt. And we were out, it was about 5:30 in the morning, and it was barely light, and we were just getting ready to go where we were hunting, and an elk appeared out from nowhere, and it was kind of, I said, well, go ahead and shoot him. So I went, and I raised my gun, and I shot, and there was just incredible silence in the air. And all of a sudden, the little 11-year-old goes, I can't believe you missed. Then there was more incredible silence in the air. And then all of a sudden, Gary and his laugh, and Roger starts laughing, and I start laughing, and we couldn't quit laughing for the rest of the day on that one. It was pretty fun. Just so many things. Aside from all the activities that Derrik loved to participate in, it was noticeable at an early age that he really loved people, and he engaged with just everybody. And that was the most amazing thing about him. I mean, all those things that he did and was good at, and lacrosse and all the different sports activities and climbing, he took to him like water, duck to a water. But it was just incredible to watch him engage with people. Whether it was a rancher or pops or just any age, a little kid, he would just go into that room, engage them, and talk about everything for hours and hours. And they loved talking to him, and he just loved listening to what they had to say. And I just thought that was the most amazing gift that he acquired, and hopefully bestowed upon us to do more of that and engage with people in those relationships. It's hard to understand today, and this is a celebration for Derrik on why and all that, but it's a celebration of Derrik's life. And Gary, I am a Derrik-holic. And he did live large, and he loved every minute of it. But more importantly, he gave back with his kindness, his compassion, his love for people, and by sharing adventures and bringing other people into his life to share the adventures that he wanted to do, to get them out and to do these different things. And it was something, I think, that was an incredible gift that he had. So he'll always live in my heart, and I know in the rest of our hearts and our lives going forward forever. Derrik also loved music. And if I could sing here today, I would sing a song by Neil Young called May You, I can't even remember the name of it right now, Long May You Run. And I think in our lives, we're just going to have to think that Derrik's out there just running around the mountains like a cannibal pygmy boy, loving every minute of it. But I'm not going to sing it for you because I'd clear the room in about a nanosecond, so we won't do that. So instead, I'm going to read something to you that was given to our extravaganza friends by another unique soul named Redtail. And this really depicts Derrik more than anybody I've ever seen. Life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Wow, what a ride."
Hello? Okay. Thanks for being here. It's amazing to see all of his friends and people that know him, really important teachers, coaches, my friends, Derrick's friends, one and the same. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to go through a PowerPoint presentation. Sounds pretty corporate, huh? You know, that's what engineers do when they're trying to send off their son, is they have a PowerPoint presentation. So there's a lot of difficulty in conveying to people someone's life history, their philosophies, and the things that are important to them. So I'm going to try to stick to the facts first. The facts I can deal with, the philosophies, the love, the music. Those are hard. So I'll try to get a few of those in here, but that's a hard part. That's a hard part. So I've got somebody somewhere who's going to try to manage this as I go through it. Derrick was born a very sweet boy, but it didn't take him long to adopt a gun. You know, Derrick was born with a pretty severe deformity. He had bilateral club feet, and for the first year of his life, he spent it in casts. And my dear wife, Catherine, who's a nurse, was his main caregiver, and we tried to straighten out his severely deformed feet with casts, and it didn't do any good at all. So at a year age, we took him in the hospital and they cut his feet completely apart. They reconfigured all of his tendons and they put his feet back together. They pinned them together and he was in cast for another 6 months. And again, Catherine was his nurse. And when he was a little baby, he'd actually walk on the outside of his feet. They were so severe. And it caused severe deformity of his lower legs also. That's why he has these little tiny calves. And I remember when he was born, the doctor comes in and we're talking about the deformity. He goes, I said, well, what's going to happen? And he goes, well, she'll never be an Olympic athlete. And my heart kind of fell. And that was the beginning of Derrick's journey. So when you look at Derrik, you need to understand that Derrik, virtually his entire life, he had a lot of pain doing sports, playing lacrosse was special for him. He had to overcome a lot to do that stuff. But he did it, and he did it with style. And we'll get into that later. So here's what happens before you have guns. You just are a caveman. Next. He broke so many bones in his body. This happened to be an arm. And so he's in the bathtub. We had many casts in our house. Next. His older sisters learned to ski at a young age. Well, if they're skiing and they're 8, then he's going to ski when he's 3. And so here's Derrik at a young age skiing. Another one. Derrik, we forgot Derrick's pants one day, and so he skied the entire day in his long underwear. Another claim to fame for Derrik. There's Uncle Gary showing Derrik the proper way to brandish an 8-inch knife. And, you know, I am kind of Derrick's activity mate, his friend. He has a whole different side of his being, which is more Catherine related. And this is one of those tender moments with Derrik and his grandpa, who's sitting right here in front of us. Doesn't take long for them to move in the world of sports in the Flahey family. And Flahey's our football, and so Derrik dons the uniform. We also wrestle. We wrestle a lot, and go back a little bit. Thank you. And you know, my brother Jim sitting right here. He and I and Derrik were all equally skinny. Okay, super skinny. But wrestling was a great thing for Derrik because he truly understood what it meant to be by yourself on the field battling with another person. And you saw that level of determination that is born when you battle to walk, when you battle through the pain, when you spend the first 18 months of your life in pain. You know how to fight. This is above our house in Kincarroll Valley, and this is Derrik. You'll see this particular in a number of his pictures. You like that?